I couldn't think of worse news to wake up to in terms of football than this crap right here. I mean, we could have all gotten a room together, all of us, and said, let's think up the worst shit we could possibly think up for football today. What could go wrong? This is probably the worst news we could have got. What a stupid hire. I mean, what's Harbaugh even thinking as the game passed Harbaugh by? Are we just watching Pete Carroll in the making at Harbaugh? Heading to New York and deciding Matt Nagy is and should be his offensive coordinator, head of operations. I mean, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. And the hits keep on coming. The hits keep on coming. This is the worst news we could have woke up to from a football perspective. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Wow. Stock down.
Stock on decline.
I mean, we might even have to take... I don't know what we're going to do with Skattebo, with Jackson Dart, with Malik Neighbors. I've told you guys that, this year we need to be very, very careful as to how we tread with situations and make sure if we're going to try and look at anything different this year, make sure we don't just buy into talent and say, oh, the talent's going to be fine. The situation, it'll be okay. Ignore the situation. This is one of the worst things we could have seen. I mean, this is bad. This is bad. Malik Neighbors, Jackson Dart, Cam Skattebo. This guy Nagy's one of the... We make fun of him whenever we say, yeah, this could have been worse. Could have been Matt Nagy. Could have been Adam Gase, Matt Nagy, Eberflus. I mean, there aren't very many names that we could even come up with, Arthur Smith, that make sense for being that one dreaded call. Now, maybe he was in a situation where he was offensive coordinator like he was in KC, where Andy Reid called the plays. He's been in KC, and he's been pretty much neutralized and neutered. He isn't allowed to do anything, barely has an iPad, probably doesn't even have a parking spot, probably rides his bike to work. I don't even think they gave him a parking spot. And he didn't do too much damage because he was there to hold a clipboard. Bieniemy has never done anything significant. He's just a motivator. And so Matt Nagy didn't do any damage over in KC. That's why it was never talked about on this channel. Like, oh, we better run away because Andy Reid was in charge. But this is different. If he had gone somewhere like that, I'd be okay with it because we could just ignore it. But he's going to be Harbaugh's offensive coordinator. And this is just dreadful information to wake up to, really, on a Tuesday morning for your boy Smitty at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday, where I thought maybe I could get a little shut-eye. Maybe I could just sleep in till about 9:30, maybe 9:35. Maybe hit the snooze a couple times, maybe 9:37. Get an extra 7 minutes out of that. And no, I have to get in here all revved up and upset. Haven't even eaten yet. I'm hangry. And I'm watching 3 fantasy football potential marvels this year. A tripod of glory. Maybe get flushed down the toilet. And if any one of you come in here and say this is a good hire, Matt Nagy, he may have done... You don't know ball. My phone line's open for you. This is the worst news we could have got today from a football perspective. How in the hell does a head coach like Harbaugh supposed to still have it? This is great. New York excited. Damn excited that this happened. Maybe Joe Shine should have been able to make the decision here. This is very upsetting. I don't know where I'm going to have Neighbors. I don't think he can be a Jupiter man anymore. I don't know where I'm going to have Neighbors. I don't think I can buy into Jackson Dart. Not this year. This will take one of those 1 year and he's out. They bring someone else in. I don't know how we're going to believe in Cam Skattebo. Matt Nagy's not the guy. This is very, very upsetting news.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. I couldn't have been, this couldn't have been worse. I mean, I guess it could have been worse. As much as I do love Cam Neighbors is just a kick to the sack, man. It is just a kick to the sack. The only thing I could think of that would have made this like worse would have been, okay, they bring him into Detroit and then we lose St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, this is brutal. I mean, this is almost near as brutal though because of the Malik Neighbors factor. The only thing I could say about Neighbors is at least this team's gonna be awful, and they're gonna be throwing the ball a lot. So Neighbors might survive a little bit better than maybe we're feeling right now. But I mean, I am scared to death about Skattebo's value. I'm scared to death about Jackson Dart's development. This is the most asinine thing I've seen in weeks. And the fact that Harbaugh thinks that this guy is the leader of this offense makes me think the game's passed Harbaugh by. I think Harbaugh is probably trash at this point. There's a reason that he got bumped out of Baltimore, and we can kind of see that now. You know, we wonder, okay, is it fit? He could still go over and do good things over New York. Like, this is one of the dumbest moves he could have made. This is an incompetent move by Harbaugh. Straight incompetence. Sometimes I don't understand how these teams function. You know, what makes me laugh deep in my soul is when someone says something to me like, what, you think you know better? Yes. You think you know better than somebody's? Yes. You think you could do it better? Yes, I do. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. I wouldn't. The mere fact that some of you think that I would come in front of this microphone and camera every day and not feel that I can do a better job than more than half of the GMs in this league. What kind of credibility would I have to bring to the table? Why would I even show up? Why would you watch me? What would make me any good at what I do if I honestly didn't have the arrogance to come up here and say, yeah, I can do a better job? This is garbage. You're live on the phone. Who's this?
My name's Bill. I'm from Kansas. I've been a lifetime Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I'm 68 years old. Nagy has been the worst offensive coordinator we've ever had.
And he hasn't even been given much of a amount of responsibility to even do too much damage.
Well,
and he's still you sound traumatized. What's your name?
Time to go. Have fun in New York.
What's your name?
My name's Bill. I live in Kansas.
Bill, you sound traumatized. You sound like someone that's been through the ringer with Matt Nagy.
I mean, to Nagy. I've watched your show. I'm a kind of a sneaker watcher, but you're right on target on this guy.
It's unbelievable, bro. All right, thank you, bro. Bro, sound petrified. That guy sounds like he needs counseling. You hear the tone and shaking in his voice? He's so excited Matt Nagy's gone. I think he's going to call into work. He's going to call into work and say, let's celebrate Matt Nagy, officially, even though Matt Nagy wasn't in the picture really anymore. It was like just an official seal. It was like breaking the seal. That guy's going to call out of work. Bruce, you're live.
Hey, Smitty. I think this is a horrible decision, but I think this is one where Harbaugh was like, I can't get my guy Munkin, so I'm just going to hire anybody. Because, I think it was just, I can't have my boy because he became a head coach.
I don't even know what to say to you, Bruce. I really don't even know what to say, man. Like, you guys can sense I'm a little upset, and this isn't like theater. I'm upset because 3 fantasy football monsters just got kicked in the nutsack today, this morning, whatever the hell it is, bro. I barely slept, so it feels like last night. Here I am discussing Matt Nagy. This is one of the dumbest moves. How do you not know? How do you not? Even Joe Shine knows. Joe Shinebox is probably saying, this is why you shouldn't have taken away my responsibility. Here I am thinking Harbaugh, this is good. Harbaugh answers only to the owner. That owner's imbecile too. No offense. I'm sorry. If you're a big fan of the Giants ownership and you're like, hey, he's a nice guy, he doesn't know what he's doing. He sat there on a coffee table as Joe Shine decided not to bring Saquon Barkley back, and he let it happen. He doesn't have any control over what's going on. This is like that parent that literally his kids are running around, telling him, flipping him off, telling him he's a bozo, and he has no control over the situation. He has no business owning this team. To allow all of this to go on consistently, the poor Giant fans out there. I feel so bad for my Giant viewers right now. You guys don't deserve this. You don't deserve. I feel so bad. What else you got, Bruce?
During this horrible news of the Giants, now are they going to be players that you're going to put on your avoid list?
I don't know yet. I have to digest this. I'm so pissed off. I can't even think straight. I mean, are they on my draft list right now? I don't know. I'm certainly not drafting Jackson Dart now, on any sort of high volume level. And Skattebo, I don't know. Here's the problem with this situation. These 3 guys have a little bit of injury risk that you already have to accept, and I did. I was like, let's go. Let's go. Let's just double down on this. I don't care. Let's do it. And then all of a sudden now you have the injury risk, and now you have an incompetent offensive coordinator that's supposed to. This guy's still got to progress. Jackson Dart is not exactly what he should be right now. Jackson Dart still has to progress. And you put Matt Nagy in this situation, and that stunts his growth. You're talking about, you want a good example of what this is going to do to Jackson Dart? Trevor Lawrence. Urban Meyer. Just one bad situation after another. How long did it take for the Law Dog to get back on track? How long did it take? The Law Dog got derailed. He had no maturity. Not in the sense of being a mature person, but his fantasy football production, his NFL quarterbacking maturity, he didn't progress at all. Law Dog was held back the entire time. He sat there in that situation with one bad OC head coach over and over and over. Law Dog, it took until right now to get Liam Cohen before he could get back on track. And we all knew Law Dog had talent, but we had to sit there and watch it just waste away. Well, here's what's going to happen with Jackson Dart. Matt Nagy is the dumbest decision possible. And the only person that's going to defend this whatsoever is some Giants fan that can't admit the situation is what it is. And they're going to come in here and say, well, but, here's the thing. You don't have a case. There's no case to be made. This guy was holding a clipboard in KC under Reed where he had no decision making for a reason. This guy's not a head coach in Tennessee or wherever he wanted to go for a reason. This is like Jackson Dart is now stunted. His growth is stunted. Cam Skattebo, who knows what he's going to be able to do. The only one that could maybe escape it a little bit is Nabers, because they're going to be down. He's the sole provider in the wide receiver room. Wandell's gone. Now, do they draft Tate? Do they draft Tyson? Do they draft Mekhi Lemon? And if they do that, then we are worried, because now there's 2 mouths to feed with one guy that is an imbecile. So right now, the only one that could escape this right now, at least, and they could certainly draft a wide receiver and screw that wide receiver up, but they're also imbecile enough over there in New York, it sounds like, including Harbaugh right now, to not know how to draft or draft the right talent or draft the best player available. But right now, Neighbors is the only one that might survive this, and he's certainly not going to survive it at the level that he could. Like, is he going to be the player he should be? No. Not this year. Maybe it happens. Maybe 1 year and this thing's done and they bring in the right. Who knows? But for 2026, is he possibly going to have his best year he could have? Neighbors? No. This is awful. This is awful. Coming back from injury, Matt Nagy. What? This is the kind of situation that maybe a couple of years ago, I don't even think last year, but a couple of years ago, we'd have said, you know what? We're still all in on Skattebo and Neighbors, and it doesn't matter. They're so good. We're smarter than that. We're not falling for that shit. All right. Anything else, Bruce?
No. The only thing that I would have thought of is if I was the Giants, and I'm not, I would have told Dayball, look, you can come back to the OC now. I would have made a phone call to try to at least make that happen.
Well, of course, but it sounds like none of that was in play.
Yeah, they wanted your Matt Nagy, and we're all done,
bro. This is a laughing stock. You're a laughing stock of the NFL right now. Go look at any comments anywhere. Go look at the comments under any of Shefty's reports, Rappaport, it's like people are just laughing, bro. Giants fans, every meme emoji, Giants fans like this. What in the hell, man? What the hell? What are we doing here?
My dad's a Giants fan. He's not too happy.
No, he's not. He's not. All right, Bruce, we'll see you later. I appreciate you.
Yep.
502, you're live.
Hey, what's good? Hey, man, so I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know much about him. I was kind of like hard targeting Neighbors. So do you think like full stop, pull the brakes on that? I don't know. You seem pretty adamant that this dude sucks, and I trust your take. So I just kind of wanted to know what you think about that. Should I not target Neighbors now?
I mean, like I said, it just happened. I do this live. I digest this live. So yeah. I reserve the right to be like, hey, I need to process this just like a normal human being. I do everything on light speed. I would say this, Jackson Dart, I want nothing to do with in terms of my starting quarterback. Like as a backup, a super flex, we can still talk, but this is going to stunt his growth, bro. This is going to stunt his growth so bad. This is Trevor Lawrence. For years, Trevor Lawrence has been in the hands of imbeciles. And Matt Nagy is an absolute imbecile. I mean, the only thing...
It's funny you say that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to cut you, but I was actually going to try to target the Neighbors Dart stack, and I have Lawrence, and I was going to try to swap Lawrence into Dart, and then I'm trying to get Neighbors as well.
Well, okay, so my early thinking on this is that Skattebo is going to be, I mean, he's going to be as good as he can be. He's going to do what he can do when he gets the football. But the problem is not just about like can these guys fly at all? Or like are the wings completely clipped? No. But you're putting them in a cage, so they can only fly so high. If you think of Trevor Lawrence, you probably we all kind of thought, like, okay, new head coach, okay, he'll do okay. He's so good, he'll carry this guy. Or Urban Meyer, will this work? T-Law is so good, he'll carry him. But the offense is going to be limited. This thing isn't going to function like it would have if Dable or Kingsbury or Mike McDaniel were in charge of this thing. This thing would be, there'd be no ceiling, right? You could just, the sky's the limit. But this is going to be a very contained upside that Skattebo's got to perform inside. So how good can he be in a limited offense? How good can he be in a failed state? I think Neighbors is the only one, when you think about the position, the wide receiver position, you think about the Bengals and how, they continue to throw and throw and throw. How effective, how many 3-and-outs, how does this offense look? How bad does Jackson Dart regress or not advance, and then Neighbors doesn't get the ball as much? Do they draft Carnell Tate, which is a big rumor, to try and support Jackson Dart? And then now you have two mouths to feed with an offense that can't move the football down the field, and that just makes Neighbors even more diluted. I don't know, man. I would honestly say, if you're getting a comparable player to Neighbors that is safer, that player is safer than Neighbors. Like, it's just the way we got to look at it. Now, am I running away from all Neighbors shares? I'll probably own them in some leagues, but I think it's going to be mostly best ball. I can't even say right now that I want JJ over Neighbors by a country mile now in Dynasty. And that sucks to say, man. Now, things
so what's
can
the deal
change.
with him? Like, does this dude just spread the ball around too much, Arthur Smith style, or what's
he's just awful on every level. Like, this is one of the worst offensive minds in the National Football League. He doesn't have he drove the Bears into the ground. I mean, this is an imbecile. Now, did he have great quarterback play? No, but he had Fields. Like, there was a time where he had weapons and he didn't do anything with it. There's just, this kid Dart is still just getting going. Like, this is not the guy to develop him. This is gonna end badly, bro. I just can't see it. Now, should you be getting rid of Neighbors, cheaply? No. But should you be acquiring more Neighbors shares? I'd say no. Not right now. Should you be acquiring Skattebo shares? No, probably not. Should you get rid of Skattebo for pennies on the dollar? No. But I do think that it's time to pump the brakes on. This is not going to be an oversaturated group of players that we're putting on a lot of our fantasy football rosters, because Matt Nagy is a recipe for disaster. There's a few coaches that are, or OCs, or whatever, however you want to title these guys, because they shouldn't get head coaching jobs anymore. Matt Nagy, Adam Gase, Nathaniel Hackett, remember him, how he ruined Javante, and like Eberflus. Those are the four, and Arthur Smith. Those are like the five guys that come to mind. They're all the same. They're just trash.
I hear you. Yeah, I mean, that's not great news. I'm going to maybe withdraw some of these trade offers I've been firing out, but yeah, no, I appreciate your take. I got to run, but I'm gonna listen in.
All right, later, bro.
So take it easy, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, peace.
Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. Dial in if anybody has anything else. I don't know what else to say at this point. There's not much more we can do. Those of you that have these guys, I don't really know what to say yet. I don't have a complete answer right now. I don't have an assessment, a full assessment on where we're ranking them. Like, hey, tell me what to do with Neighbors. I don't. It just happened. All I can tell you is that I'm pissed off, and all I can tell you is that this is not good. I'll probably have more at 8 p.m. as far as what we need to do. I just, there's no way this helps. And Neighbors doesn't go up in some creative way, like, oh, if they're bad, they'll throw. Like, this is a less productive throwing environment. Not to mention, we're still living with Neighbors' injury that he's coming back from, right? That I'm willing to accept, because he was so good. Dart's so good. Scat's so good. They're going to have an awesome OC probably. That's what we thought, weeks ago, months ago. But now you have the injury concern with Neighbors, and with all three of them. Concussions and reckless play and coming back from a bad knee injury, reckless play constantly injuring himself, coming back from a bad injury. This is an all-injured team right here. This is like the all-star of injury players and players that play. All three of them play with reckless abandon. So like they're already in a bad spot that we're willing to overlook because they're so talented. This is not something you play out of. It means the offense is going to suck. It means the architecture of it's going to blow. And the fact that Harbaugh thinks this is a good idea, the game may have passed Harbaugh by. I don't know if Harbaugh has it anymore. If this is his determination, if he really believes this is the move, that what a horrible. This is why they got rid of him. That Baltimore Raven owner knows what the hell he's doing. I mean, this is just dreadful. I mean, the Stefanski thing was rough. You know, we've got a few kicks to the nutsack. This is going to be one of those weird years, guys, where we're digging a little differently into the fantasy football weeds to find this is the year that where it's going to be like Hamptons in the top 3. Some wide receivers, and there's just a crazy combination of players that fell in bad spots. We're gonna have to look at this thing a little differently. Cool. I mean, Genty, Bowers, Hampton. I mean, these are the, it's like, we're already unsure of what Hendy's going to get volume wise. Will Sean Payton fully feed Harvey this coming season? What will happen there? Now you got the Giants crew and you got Stefanski over in Atlanta, and we're banking on Tommy Reese and hoping Reese is just a better gem than potentially some might think. And even we have, we're skeptical of it, but Reese did show promise with. So Reese is our only hope. Stefanski's a bum. Reese is our only hope. Reese is the only hope we have for Bijan in London. And I'm worried enough about London, not as much about... I mean, this is just... I'm not worried about Petzing. Petzing's the best news out of all of this. I mean, you might want... In a vacuum, if Petzing was the only move and we weren't judging any of this other stuff yet, we'd be like, oh, Drew Petzing from Arizona... This might not be his offensive coordinator at Arizona. Look at how bad he's been with Kyler. But the fact that with Brissett and McBride and Michael Wilson, the entire second half on without any hesitation, like Petzing's great news. Giants, horrible. Raiders, as soon as Kubiak signs, and it's all good. Raiders up. Lions players up. Chargers players up. Giants players down. Atlanta players flat, but Bijan probably survives. This is awful. But guys, at the end of the day, as mad as I am, this is all an opportunity. This is all an opportunity to say that there's so much that you can take advantage of when these things happen and other players become more attractive. Maybe not everybody is going to be on board with this thinking, and that's good news, but the problem is everyone knows how bad Matt Nagy is from a fantasy perspective. Tyler, stop talking about the Broncos over and over and over. We get it. You love the web. Everybody likes the web situation. Moved up from your QB coordinator to your offensive coordinator. We get it, Tyler. We get it. Congratulations, Tyler. Let's give Tyler his damn standing ovation. Tyler, there you go. You nonstop. You're saying the same thing over and over. But Webb's good. But Webb's good. You sound like a robot. Who's on the phone line? I think they hung up. I'm sorry. All right, guys, I'll be back. Horrible news. Horrible news. Horrible, horrible, horrible news. Live Monday through Friday. Live whenever big news breaks like this. Big news bucket of trash. news that got dropped on my doorstep. Live whenever big news breaks. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. Unbelievable. Get on over to my Patreon. Patreon, you want to talk about this 365 24/7, get on over to the Patreon. You want 365 24/7 rankings. Where am I going to move Neighbors on the rankings? I'll do it probably in a little while. I have no idea. See you all later. Let me go to my Rumblers real quick. See what are my Rumblers saying? Rumble, appreciate you. All my links are in the description. Horrible day.